Rarin. Tell me, buddy, did you like spy movies or like anything like spy related? You know, like James Bond, anything like that?
What a weird, spy movie. I mean, like I guess they're fine. Like I didn't go out of my way for them. Like Mission Impossible is kind of cool.
Yeah, sure.
But...
Okay. Well, today I am going to be showing you what is maybe one of the best decks in Yu-Gi-Oh of all time. I will let you know now. Tearlament was better, but this preceded Tearlament. This was in 2017, as a matter of fact. So I'm gonna start by showing you this photo. This is how good this deck was. That it took up 92% of the representation.
Okay.
When it was played. There was only, I think, 1 or 2 actual tournaments where this deck at full power was legal, and they had to come in and they didn't call it an emergency ban list, but it kind of was in a sense, because they're like, yeah, we can't like have this going on in the game. So, as always, I'm going to show you some cards, and you have to tell me if you think that they were banned, limited, or they are totally fine. And so here is your first card.
Okay. So I was looking at the art for this thing. Okay, Spyral. What is Spyral?
Spyral is the archetype. They're all going to be named Spyral. So hence why I asked you about the spy movies, you know.
Is this like a lore thing in Yu-Gi-Oh though, or is it just like this is what they made the cards?
This is just like what they made the. I mean, there's like lore, but we'll get into it later. So don't just read the card.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, Spiral Gear Drone. Does machine matter here? I'm going to assume not.
I will actually let you know it will matter, and I'll show you a card later as to why that matters.
If this card is normal special summon, you can look up the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck, and if you do, place them on top of their deck in any order. Quick effect, you could tribute this card, then target 1 Spiral monster you control. It gains 500 attack for each card your opponent controls. You could banish this card and 1 Spiral card from your graveyard, then target 1 Spiral Super Agent in your graveyard and add it to your hand.
You'll see Super Agent next.
Okay, I was gonna say I probably need to see. Wait, can I see it now or
sure?
Like his,
I'll show it to you now. That's fine. He doesn't have any other like things relating to other cards. So let's show you the Super Agent. This is the icon of the deck. As a matter of fact.
I feel like you've showed me this card before. I'm having like a flashback.
I don't know if I've shown you this card actually.
Maybe Stevie showed it to me. I feel like I've seen the art of this. Maybe I'm like tripping though. Okay, so this is Super Agent. This card is in your hand. You can declare 1 card type, monster, spell, or trap. Reveal the top card of your opponent's deck, and if you do, special summon this card if it is the... Okay, so basically, with the drone, you're setting up your opponent's deck, and then you get the special summon this. Okay.
Look at you, so proud.
Yeah, what the fuck? If this card is special summoned by the effect of a Spyral card, you can target 1 spell/trap your opponent controls and destroy it. You can only use this effect once per turn. Okay, so you skip the normal summon, you got a special summon, you get another guiding board. You also get to destroy one of your opponent's cards. And this is like drawing an extra card, even though it's from your graveyard. So does drone allow you to get the card in your graveyard is the question. You banish this card and 1 spell card from your graveyard, then target 1 Super Agent in your graveyard. So this card doesn't allow you to get into the graveyard, right?
No, but it's a way to recur the agent.
Yeah. So I'm just seeing what like, so drone is basically here to get the Super Agent out of your graveyard and set up your opponent's deck. Agent is basically here to destroy a card, but also special summon a free minion. Okay, I can see what you mean. It's not as good as Tearlament's. Like, I mean, that's just unfortunate.
Just wait. We'll
get there.
Again, this was also 3 years prior. So, like, again, context. Tearlament didn't exist yet. So, nor did we even know it was existing.
See, isn't that funny, though? They're like, this deck was 92%. And they're like, you know what, guys? We need to do better than this.
Yeah, literally.
Okay, is that good? Probably. I think it's more for the Super Agent thing rather than... I mean, ordering your opponent's deck's pretty good though, because you get to know exactly what they're doing.
That is correct.
The next 3 draw.
Very good.
In Hearthstone, that has been fine, but I feel like, again, because the amount of draw, and we have like a lot of shuffle effects. I mean, you have shuffle effects too, though.
We do.
But they probably do this in the same turn, so like they always get the Super Agent. I'm imagining, like, I'm just trying to think of like how you're sequencing this. Super Agent has to be in your graveyard already.
No, in your hand.
So then, wait, but doesn't the drone pull it from your graveyard?
It can, but that's like after you've already played it.
Wait, so you have a Super Agent in hand. You tribute it or you kill it. That goes to your graveyard, and then you can just do it again with the drone and re-special summon it. But you can only do it once. Wait,
you can only do it once.
That's special summon the graveyard. Okay, so you can only special summon the agent ones. Okay.
Yeah, per turn.
Okay. I get what you're saying. Okay.
So basically, with drone, you're going to look at the top 3 of your opponent's deck. You put the worst card on top of their deck, and then you have Super Agent in hand. You know what the top card of their deck is, so now you can just special summon him out for free. And then, in the instance of both of these cards being in the graveyard, you can recur the Super Agent to your hand if you need to.
Okay, I mean, that seems good. I don't know if that's really ban worthy. It's tough because I wish you showed me this first before Taylor. It's because now I'm looking at that like, what the fuck?
We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry.
That seems fine. I don't think it's really bannable. I mean, Super Agent seems like a pretty good card, but the fact that you kind of need both of these to do it doesn't seem like it's that bad. So
okay.
It's not. It doesn't seem like.
So you think they're both fine?
They're both fine, I think. I have to see what more of the context is here, because
what if I show you this card?
Machine duplication. Target one machine type monster you control with 500 or less attack. Special summon up to 2 monsters from your deck with the same name as that monster. Okay, so that's really good. So that's why the machine tag matters with drone. So you're getting 2 of these bad boys on here.
3
and now
total.
Oh, sorry, yeah, 3. You contribute this card and target 1 spiral element you control. It gains 500 attack for each of your opponent controls. You can banish this card and 1 spiral card from your graveyard. And, okay, so you can do that. Oh my god, hold on.
So you know you have 3 copies. What is that really doing for you?
Obviously, having multiple of them on your board and drawing them is the biggest thing. Like the effect's kind of like, yeah, but the effect has already been probably done once per turn anyway. So like you're basically there to draw 2 extra cards. And in your game, that's fantastic. You're also playing them. So that's really, really good. So that's great. I still don't think drone and agent's ban worthy, but machine duplication might be on the chopping block already, because like that's insane.
What about limited? You think that's fine too?
For drone, or wait, which one are you referring to? The duplication?
Right? That's your goal. You have to pick one of the 3.
Machine duplication, if it's limited, makes sense, but then it doesn't make sense if you limit the drone with duplication, because like then why are you running duplication to begin with? So I feel like that's not the way they did it.
Okay.
So it'd have to be machine duplication if they're going to limit any of them.
All right. So
Super
far,
Agent.
Oh, go ahead.
Go for it. I was gonna say Super Agent is kind of relying on the drone. By hitting machine duplication, you're also indirectly affecting Super Agent. Like, I think that's fine, but
we'll stick with that. We'll stick with you think machine duplication is limited for now. We'll show you some more cards, and maybe that'll make you change your mind. Anyway, here is, you have your drone on the field, and you have your Super Agent. Here is your next card.
Spyral Double Helix. This is in your extra deck.
It's in your extra deck.
2 Spyral monsters. Okay, so now machine duplication gets a lot better, if that's just the requirement.
Okay.
The card's name becomes Spyral Super Agent while on the field or in the graveyard. You can declare 1 card type, monster, spell, or trap, reveal the top card of your opponent's deck, and if you do, its type matches the declared type. Take 1 Spyral monster from your deck or graveyard and either add it to your hand or special summon to your zone this card points to. You can only use this effect once per turn. Card becomes Super Agent.
That will matter for some cards. Some cards require you to have Super Agent to do something. So that's why that tag is there.
You could pull, if this card is Super Agent while in the graveyard, that means you can pull it out with the drone.
Oh, yes, because it is. I mean, we'll go back to the extra deck because it says drone says it goes back to your hand. Yeah, but you could theoretically recur Double Helix. Yeah.
Reveal the top card of your opponent's deck, and if you do, the type matches the declared type. Take 1 Spyral monster from your deck or graveyard, and either add it to your hand or special summon to your zone. Okay, so drawing the card from your deck and picking the one is really good. Machine duplication was the same name. This is any card you want from the Spyral monsters, and I'm guessing what you're going to show me this is kind of mana cheating. Like, and
yep.
Obviously your card game doesn't have it, but picking a very big one or big Spyral minion probably matters a ton here. And I'm probably waiting to see an even bigger monster for you to want to pull from this, I'm guessing. But worst case scenario,
see a bigger monster to pull from this? Sure, I'll show you one.
Okay. Master plan? How the fuck is a master plan a minion? These are questions I need answered. Once per turn, you can add 1 Spyral mission card from your deck to your hand. If this card is okay, so we're already drawing another card. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 Spyral resort and 1 Spyral monster from your deck to, okay. Except for this card, you can only use this effect. Okay, so
you're starting to put it together. You're starting to put it together.
I'm starting to see like the tier limit thing where it's like you just have so much redundancy and you're basically just pulling every card you need from your deck before your opponent really gets to play the game. And basically from what I can tell, depending on what your opening hand was, like the game's over. So that's great. Master Plan seems like maybe the best card here.
Okay.
I'm not even sure what a Spyral mission is, but
you'll see them momentarily.
The fact you're drawing 3 cards from your deck is kind of absurd.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's pretty good. I mean, okay.
So where are you at? Where are you at with your bans and limits at this point? So before you had machine duplication is limited. Where are you at? So where are you at now? You seem to think Master Plan's quite good.
Master Plan's good because they're double helix.
Correct.
Double helix allows you to cheat it out. Master Plan's not good if you don't have the helix. So if I'm designing the game and I'm using my brain, I need to ban something or limit it. Am I picking the card that's slow, or am I picking the card that mana cheats? And I'm using quotations when I say that. So probably the card that mana cheats. Is double helix worth a ban or a limit? I mean, what does limiting really do if you can just get it from your extra deck? That doesn't really solve the problem because you probably only need one copy.
Okay.
So then you want to ban that card, I'm assuming.
Okay.
But then you could also make the case that you need the 2 minions to actually summon it. So then is drone the problem? You're limiting with machine duplication. You're already kind of solving the problem a little bit, but I don't think that's actually that bad. Then you can also get agent from your graveyard again. It's not that bad. It's probably helix is probably the biggest problem here.
Okay.
And it might be banned. It might be banned. I think that's probably the bigger thing. Like you probably know this better than I do. Just Konami just kill an archetype like out of nowhere, probably. Yeah.
So it's tough because they obviously want to sell the set, and this product came out, and this deck immediately became tier 0. And I told you it was only legal for like 2 events exactly at full power, and then they had to hit some of the cards to rein in the power a little bit. I will tell you, even after the hits, this deck was still the best deck by like a mile. And it took another set of hits for it to sort of get reined in a little bit here.
Okay, so that makes me believe that Helix was not banned because I think Helix is the best card here so far.
Okay.
If it was still the best deck after the... Are you saying banned after the second wave or the first wave?
Either.
Because like...
Either.
Was there ever a situation where they banned or limited something and then they undid it?
Sure.
After the second wave?
That's happened all the time. Yeah.
No, but for this specific one.
Oh, for this specific archetype?
Or is it like once they made a decision, that's what it was?
I want to say they made the decision, it stuck, and then if they did unlimit anything, it took them like several years to unlimit it. And it was not just like the next ban list, they unlimited stuff. Yeah.
If that's still the best deck after the first one, they needed a second one. Maybe they missed Helix. I think Helix is probably banned at this point.
Okay.
After the second wave. So because I think that's the biggest problem.
Okay. All right. Let's show you your next card. I'm gonna give you the whole story at the end. So.
Quick fix. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 Spiral Gear card from your deck to your hand. This card is in your graveyard and you control a Spyral super agent. You can discard 1 card, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. So that counts as a special summon. So then you would get 1 more gear card in your hand.
Sure, and I'll show you the gears. There's a few of them, so brace yourself. So here's your first gear.
You could target 1 Spiral monster you control, equip this monster from your hand or field to that target. While this card is equipped to a monster by this effect, the equipped monster cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Also, your opponent cannot target it with card effects. Once per turn, if this card is equipped to the monster by this effect, you can send 1 other card you control to the graveyard. The equipped monster can directly attack this turn.
Okay, here's your second gear.
Okay. Big Red. Activate this card by targeting 1 Spiral monster in your graveyard. Special summon it. If you do equip this card to it, it cannot be destroyed by battle. You can only activate 1 Spiral Gear, Big Red per turn. That seems pretty good.
And here's your final gear.
Utility Wire. If you control Spiral Super Agent, target 1 face-up card your opponent controls placed on the top of the deck. You can only activate that once per turn. Okay, so if you have like 2 of these on the board, you can only activate 1. Okay,
correct.
Okay. I was like wondering if that's continuous or not. Okay, Big Red seems very good.
Big Red is very good.
Utility Wire is an interesting one. So in Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm trying to think of this through. Is it better to destroy a monster than to put on their deck? No, because you guys use the graveyard, and on top of it, you make them have 1 less draw theoretically from like adding it back to their deck.
Not to mention, you're placing it on top of the deck, so you know what's there. So for all your effects that require you to know what's on top of the deck, not only are you removing the monster, but you're also like facilitating your own engine at the same time.
It's a pretty good card. That's pretty good. Mm-hmm. Last Resort's interesting. It's probably the weakest one if we're considering like just attacking.
Okay.
Maybe that's more relevant for this one because it seems like you actually get quite a bit of stuff on board. And we did see that, what is it, like the drone or whatever, like gives damage.
It does.
So, I mean, in that case, because I get to attack directly, like that's actually kind of sick.
That's cool.
And it also allows, they can't target it with card effects.
Or destroy it.
Maybe they're all good.
I mean, this was a tier 0 deck. I would hope they're all good.
Yeah, but usually they're like when they have like at least in Hearthstone, when there's like a really good package, a couple cards are not as good as like the big thing. They're just kind of there to like make sure there's like as much support as possible. But you can add, like I showed you like the Galacrons, right? So like the Galacrons is a good example of that, where it's like some of the cards are just there to make the big thing better.
I would agree. Also, something you may have missed, and I feel like I should tell you in your decision making. Look at Quick Fix's stats.
Oh, I haven't even done like reading the card. you said let me show you the gears first.
That's true.
Oh no, you're right. No, I just read the card. I'm just an idiot. It's 500 and 400. Wait, why does 500 and 400 matter?
What card did I show you earlier that deals with machine monsters and duplicating
machine duplication? Is that a machine? Oh yeah, I guess it is. I was looking at the human. Like what the fuck?
I know,
guess
at least
I'm talking about
drone's an
him
actual
fixing it.
machine, right?
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay. If you copy multiple quick fix, it would be special summon from your deck. Oh, that's pretty gross.
Uh-huh. And you notice there's a line of text missing on quick fix by chance?
But you can't do it once per turn?
You can do it's no once per turn clause anywhere on quick fix.
Okay, so then that makes me believe that that is also limited and or banned.
Okay.
Because there's no way they do the gears, right? The gears are good. Actually, I don't know. Big Red is really fucking disgusting. That's a
Big Red is quite good. Yep.
that's a nuts card. Utility Wire is fine, but it's not as proactive as the car. Last Resort's also good if you already have a board. And you're special summoning these. Discard one card and special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves. No, so you can't special summon the gears, but I mean, you don't really need to for two of them.
Yeah, exactly. Because like Last Resort will equip to something anyway, so it's kind of like an equip spell in a way, but it's still a monster, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so hold on. Let me think the line here. Yeah, I'm Konami. I'm the best card designers in the world. I sit here and I ask myself, what is the problematic cards in this deck? Quick Fix is really gross. Quick Fix does get worse with machine duplication gone.
Okay.
So
okay.
Is Quick Fix the bigger problem here? If I only have one copy of it.
I'll also let you know, machine duplication is a very old card. It is from like 2006.
Okay.
So that all these other cards were all released in 2017. So just to give you some context there in your decision.
So that also makes me believe though that they kind of forgot about it.
Okay, sure.
I feel like when they're making this, they're not there's no, I would not believe you if you told me this. There's no way Konami goes, okay guys, let me look at every card that we've ever released and let's think about the interactions here. There's no fucking way.
So it's purely a coincidence that Drone and Quick Fix have less than 500 attack in their machines. Okay, sure.
You think they intentionally designed it to work with a card like that?
I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just pointing that out.
Listen, I'm basing this off Wild and Hearthstone, which it's not the fairest translation because I think Konami cares more about their main format than Blizzard cares about Wild, because Blizzard doesn't care about Wild.
Okay,
when they
go on.
When they release cards for Standard, right? They're not thinking about the interactions it can cause in Wild. That's where I'm coming from, where it's like, I don't think Konami's like, you know what, guys? Like, let's think about machine duplication.
Okay. Sure.
I feel like it got released and they're like, holy fuck, what did we do?
Okay.
So that makes me believe that machine duplication is not just limited, it's probably banned. That seems like the best card in the deck.
So you think Dupe is banned, Helix is banned, and Quick Fix you're kind of on the fence, but now if you have Dupe banned, you might think Quick Fix is okay.
This card's normal summoner spell. I gotta read through every other card to see if I can pull this card out of my deck again, because that kind of matters.
There is a big blue card that can pull this card out of the deck.
Yeah, but that's one copy, right? That's one. You can only do one.
I'm just saying. You know, it's what you said. If there's a way to pull it out of the deck.
Okay. I don't know how Konami does the shit, but like if I'm going 1 to 1 to 1 to 1, I'm basically doing it all in one turn. Though that's the problem. So if I'm thinking about banning their brand new archetype, and I feel like I need to do something after the second ban, was this deck still good?
After the second ban, was this deck still good? So this deck is interesting. I want to say no. It may have been, but I want to say no. But what was interesting is that I want to say it was like around like, I think pre-COVID. So I think in a couple years, there was other cards that got released that weren't necessarily Spyral cards, that made this deck tier 1 again. I wouldn't say it was like the only deck you could play, but it was a very good deck, and so it actually came back into the metagame for quite some time. They had to hit some cards to hit it again.
So that, based on that description, it seems like the thing that was causing the problem was taken out, and they added it again, and they're like, oh shit. So Helix seems like it's a problem then as well. So is duplication.
Okay.
So so I think duplication's banned.
Okay.
It makes a lot of sense. It just makes sense for the context of the game, or the context of why this deck is so good. So the question ends up being, is Quick Fix the problem, or is it double Helix the problem?
Or is Master Plan the problem? You thought about that too.
Master Plan's not the problem, because if Helix is nerfed, it's not as...
That's true.
It's limited.
That's fair,
or
because
banned.
Helix is pulling her directly from the deck, so that's a fair point.
And limiting doesn't make any sense because you only need one copy.
Mm-hmm.
So for Master Plan, it's like you need to ban it or it's nothing, and I don't think they banned it.
Sure.
Helix seems like the bigger problem. It's interesting how like the extra deck causes so many issues because it's so consistent.
Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh!
Like, you don't need to.
You have a 15 card command zone at all times. How is that broken?
That's such an interesting design philosophy. Like, it's so tough to balance that game around that, Because then like that means like anytime you make a card that can go to the extra deck, like you have to really think of what it's going to do to the game state at all times. That's such an interesting balance philosophy.
I will let you know.
So that means
there are more Link monsters banned than any other monster in the extra deck.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
They are very broken.
Does the deck still operate after Helix is banned?
That's a good question.
Kind of. It's not nearly as good. But what I'm thinking they did was, I'm trying to think about like the timeline here.
Okay.
First round, they probably limited Helix and thought it was going to be enough.
Okay.
And then they said they banned machine duplication. They probably limited Helix and said, this is probably fine, guys. It wasn't fine, guys. And then that was the bigger problem. So they have to ban that because everything is kind of spiraling from this one card.
Spiraling from this one card. Ha ha ha.
Okay. I go with they ban Helix too.
Okay. So Duke banned, Helix banned. What about Quick Fix? You still kind of on the fence with him? Or you think he's fine?
I just think if he's not,
because in your scenario, they hit machine duplication. So you can't machine dupe Quick Fix anymore.
yeah, I'll leave it as it is.
Okay, so he's fine. Okay, so we just have 2 bans so far. We have dupe banned and we have Helix banned. Okay, let's show you your next card.
Interesting not knowing if I'm right or not. I understand the other side.
I thought I'd change it up a bit.
Spyral tough. What the fuck? Okay, if this card's name becomes Spyral Super Agent while it's on the field or in the graveyard, once per turn, you can declare one type card, monster squad trap, and target one card your opponent controls, reveal the top card of your opponent's deck, and if you do, destroy the target card if the revealed card is the declared type. Okay, so you set your opponent's deck up, you got to go through a little bit of hoops, and then you get to destroy any card on the field as long as it matches, and you also got a Spiral guy. So how do you make something a super agent again? It's from the drone.
They're just if they have the text that they're considered super agent, that's just a thing. So like Helix is considered super agent, Tough's considered super agent.
Sorry, yeah, you're right.
But hypothetically, it's in the graveyard, you could drone it back, right? Because it's considered a super agent.
Because it is, yeah. Okay, so I mean that's actually kind of interesting though, because it does actually add a lot to potentially removal. Because this card doesn't have a once per turn clause.
He does not.
So,
well, he has a once per turn clause, but it's a soft once per turn.
Which means what? If I send this card to the graveyard and then I resummon it, I can do it again?
Correct. And there's very interestingly a gear card that lets you do that.
Oh, with the car.
The car.
That's a bit silly. You don't get any more resources from this though. You're just kind of removing.
No, he's removal versus resource, and everything I've showed you up to this point is like giving you resources. I want to say, except for the card.
I don't think having like a condition removal is necessarily that bad.
Okay.
And if we're hitting like then the question ends up being if this card ends up being too good, then you actually just hit Quick Fix.
That's fair.
Because then it makes it worse indirectly by causing you not to draw these gears as often, especially like big reds.
What about this for removal?
Sleeper. Okay. Cannot be normal summon / set. Must be special summon from your hand by banishing 3 Spiral cards from your graveyard. Cannot be directly special summoned by other ways. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can target 1 Spiral card you control and up to 2 cards your opponent controls and destroy them. This card is on the field. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or a card effect and sent to the graveyard, destroy as many cards as you control as possible. And if you do, special summon 1 Spiral Super Agent from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Okay, so banishing 3 Spiral cards from your graveyard, which seems very easy.
Correct.
And you have a lot of them. You have a critical mass of them, so that's not even like a problem. You get to special summon this while it's in your hand. So as long as you draw it or you pull it, that's something.
Double Helix can pull it if you need a reminder.
You can target 1 Spiral monster you control up to 2 cards.
Also, Spyral Master Plan can pull it as well.
Okay. We're cooking. Okay, so you need to have another Spiral card on the board you control.
Or do you need one at all?
Can you pick yourself? Can you pick its own?
You can pick itself.
Sleeper?
And interestingly enough, why don't you reread?
Nice.
Why don't you reread Last Resort for us?
Oh, it can't be destroyed.
Correct. So you just get to pop 2 cards on your opponent's turn and 2 cards on your turn every single turn as long as he's on the field.
If this card's on the field and destroyed by battle or card effect, it's at the graveyard. So because of the Last Resort 2, it can't be destroyed by card effects. So it's really annoying to get rid of. So what, this just seals the deal? It's not hard to special summon this. They should have made this a lot more difficult. What the hell?
Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh, my friend.
And then even if it dies, like it's not, I guess that's like a panic button in a sense, because you could just summon a bunch of super agents, I guess.
Yeah, you just get a super agent back. You can bring back Double Helix.
That card's a bit annoying.
I think a lot of people would agree.
tough is not like in comparison, it's not even in the same league. So
Sure.
sleeper is definitely a concern. So that means that because of the way that it interacts with itself and last resort, then quick fix becomes a little bit more of a problem because you need to stop that from happening as often. If I just outright limit sleeper and or ban it, does quick fix end up being a problem? Not like, it's still good, but it's not like oppressive. Like, I feel like sleeper is more of the problem than quick fixes. If I ban quick fix and I still have last resort on board, it still causes a significant game state problem for my opponent.
You can also get last resort from master plan or double helix, so it doesn't solve that problem.
So sleeper has to be limited or banned. But what does limiting do it?
Maybe
you just need the one copy. Maybe you ban the last resort then. Because is sleeper a problem if it has to destroy itself?
Or another Spyral card.
No. Or another spot. Yeah, but I think that's fine. I think if you're like wasting I don't think the transaction of like using your own resources, like sacrifice your own resources to kill something else is that big of a deal.
I mean, it kills two things for one though. So that's a little bit
I mean,
different.
it's also, but you're not wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong, but like if I'm paying like 10 mana in Hearthstone, I expect my removal to be like amazing.
Okay.
And I'm not saying it
That's a fair
translates to
point.
10 mana, but like
It's a fair point.
like it should do more, right? Like I'm expecting this thing to do, like when I say big stars on Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm assuming big thing.
Sure.
So for the most part, it seems like, so I think that's fine. So that makes me think last resort's probably the issue then, because like it stops the problem, and then you have to play Spyral cards in order for you to keep sleeper alive. But then the issue ends up being like, do you ever run out of Spyral cards for that thing for it to kill itself? Probably not. Then the game is a little bit more open if you get rid of last resort, which is interesting because I thought last resort might be the worst one of all of these.
You did, and then I showed you a good use for it.
Okay, so if I'm hold on, if I limit quick fix, that means the consistency of drawing last resort is lower, which means to have both at the same time is less likely, but it doesn't seem like you would have that much trouble to draw both. So you'd have to get rid of one and not the other. Or I guess you get rid of both, but that seems a little redundant. So sleeper's probably, I mean, it's annoying, but it's probably okay.
Okay.
So then you would want to get, I think last resort's the bigger issue because it creates an interaction that they probably didn't intend for. And if they did intend for, they probably underestimated how powerful it was going to be. Maybe last resort's banned.
Okay, so we're at
Sure.
dupe band, helix band, last resort band.
I don't know what limiting really does for this deck, but because it seems like you're getting what you want no matter what. So I don't
Speaking
know
of
if
getting what you
need
want
more.
no matter what, here you go.
Resort. Your opponent cannot target other Spiral cards you control with card effects. Oh, great. Once per turn, you can add one Spiral monster from your deck to your hand. Once per turn during your end phase, shuffle one monster from your graveyard into the deck and destroy this card. Wow, that's oh.
What do you think about this one, huh?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That means okay. That's what kind of spell card is this?
This is a
that
field spell,
continuous?
so this is like a
Field spell.
enchantment that just has its own zone, and it just stays out until something interacts with it to destroy it. Or in this case, it can destroy itself if you can't fulfill the condition.
Your opponent can't target other Spiral cards you control with card effects. What a line of text.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And then you also get more resources for your deck.
I will note, you were asking about earlier, the master plan searches Spiral Resort when it goes to the graveyard. This is the card it searches. One of the cards it searches of the three.
That's a bit silly.
Yep.
That's a bit silly.
Yep.
That one's kind of the bigger problem, I think.
Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to think of what this would be in Hearthstone. You can't hurt Murlocs, and you draw a Murloc every single time.
That seems good. Yeah.
It's even better in Yu-Gi-Oh though. Like if every Murloc had taunt, that'd be so stupid.
That's Yu-Gi-Oh.
So that's really good.
Uh-huh.
Now that creates an interesting point because what card draws that card? It's a
Master Plan, the woman.
Master Plan. If I ban or limit Master Plan, it doesn't actually solve the problem. So I'd have to ban Master Plan, but again, I don't think Master Plan's that egregious if Helix is gone because it would be really annoying to get that. Now, naturally, just playing Resort is kind of a big deal.
Yep.
Like the second that card is drawn, it causes a significant problem for your opponent.
I will let you know there are also other cards that can search Resort that are not in the Spiral archetype that this deck would play.
Okay, so then Master Plan is like not relevant here whatsoever. This card's just an issue. Like independently, that's just the problem card. So do we limit this card?
I'll just show you one for context just so you have some idea of like what we're dealing with here. There is this card. Give this a quick read.
Terraforming animal. Okay, yeah. Add a field spell to your hand. Okay. Okay, so you have redundancy to get this in your hand. This is a draw engine. It also prevents damage. I mean, that's problematic. That's just problematic. Probably banned. It's just weird because then it's like Master Plan kind of just doesn't have one line of text, but I don't think you care. Like, you just got to take the L if you're Konami, no? Like, that's just ridiculous.
Okay. So you're at dupe banned, helix banned, last resort banned, resort banned. Is that correct?
That seems good.
Okay. All right. We only have a few more cards left to show you to round out the archetype here. So Master Plan also searches some mission cards. There are 2 of them. Here is your first one.
Okay. Spyral Mission Assault. Destroy this card during your 3rd end phase after activation. Once per turn, if a Spyral monster you control destroys a monster by battle, or if you destroy a card/cards on field with Spyral monster effects you control, you can draw 1 card. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Special summon 1 Spyral monster from your hand. Okay, that's pretty good, considering that's not that hard thing to do.
And here's your second one.
Destroy this card during your 3rd end phase after activation. Once per turn, you can target 1 Spyral monster in your graveyard. Return it to your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 Spyral monster in your graveyard. Special summon it. You can only do this once per turn. Or you can only control 1 Spyral mission rescue. So I say you can only, and I just immediately assume now it's once per turn.
Yeah.
That means that's really good.
Okay.
God, that's so fucking annoying too. Okay, so then Master Plan ends up being a better card because now you're adding more resources to your hand. The issue still ends up being Master Plan is an annoying card to play. By banning Helix, do I need to actually affect Master Plan if like the whole archetype now kind of hinges on it? Maybe it's a tough decision.
A Spyral tough decision.
Yeah. I'm spiraling.
Sorry, you keep saying the words. It just makes it funny.
You can draw 1 card. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Special summon 1 Spyral monster from your hand. Oh, that is disgusting. Because Assault also allows you to play the Master Plan. No.
And I'll show you this card. I don't think I've ever showed you this card, but I think this might be somewhat relevant. So I'll just help give you the full context here. Give this card a read. This is a very short one.
Foolish Burial Grounds. Send 1 spell/trap card from your deck to your graveyard. You can only activate 1 of these per turn. Oh,
you like that?
That's great. That's so I'm so happy for the stuff.
Isn't it great? It just has all the cards you need.
Okay, so that means so I'm still under the belief that Master Plan isn't the concern here.
Okay, sure.
It's a good card. Good cards are allowed to exist. The problem ends up being if you consistently can cheat it out and have like a game state where the game's over on like turn 1. If you are allowed to do that, one of the issues you have now is Assault and Rescue both cause a problem. So do you limit those or do you outright ban them? I don't think you limit. So by limiting or banning them, you're also nerfing Master Plan itself. What is the point of banning or limiting Master Plan if I feel like we're going to affect the cards that's going to draw anyways? So you probably, but if you limit them, you don't really solve the problem here. Because the Burial Grounds is like a huge problem because you can consistently draw 1 of them. I think you just fucked. I think you just stopped playing the game. Honestly, like,
I mean, to be fair, during this time, a lot of people did not like the game. I will let you know.
I literally don't even know how you solve that. I get this. It's like all or nothing here because like you kind of have to put yourself in a situation like you don't want this deck to be playable, which means you have to do quite a lot of work to make that happen.
Oh, I haven't even shown you the worst parts yet.
What the hell do you mean?
Just go on. We'll get to it.
So is Master Plan the problem then? Do you ban No, but like if you ban Master Plan, you're not really doing anything because you could still send the Assault or Rescue to your graveyard.
But it's like less consistent, so there's that.
Yeah, but if Helix is gone, like you're kind of putting yourself in a weird spot.
Oh, so you're banning Helix and Master Plan. Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, Helix. I think Helix is banned. I don't think
okay.
that card's not. Okay. That's too good. That's
okay.
That's way too good of a card.
Okay.
So if that's also gone, how do I feel about that? Then you have these cards like Assault and Rescue that are fine. They're still good though, but I don't think that really solves the problem. I guess all you're really doing is just making Assault and Rescue, like you just don't add as many copies to your deck. You're basically limiting on your own. Then you don't have the consistent way of drawing. So then maybe it's not Assault, maybe it's not Rescue. What if we just ban Foolish Burial Grounds? Or good, sorry.
I will let you know that's not part of this conversation.
Fuck! Thought I was cooking.
I'll let you know that card stayed unlimited during this time, I'm pretty sure. So
I can't make the the line of like if I limit Assault and I limit Rescue, it doesn't make any sense of Master Plans in the game. If Master Plan is limited, then it doesn't make any sense to run 3 copies of Assault or Rescue anyways, unless you really want the consistency. But that doesn't matter if Burial Ground or Burial Good exists, because as long as you're running 3 copies of that, you're gonna get 1 anyways.
You also have the ability to discard these cards off of Quick Fix to special summon him.
No, it's cooked. No, you're probably banning Assault or you're banning Rescue.
So we have Machine Duplication Band, Double Helix Band, Last Resort Band, Resort Band. Are you going to add to the list?
Well, I gotta reread both these again just to see if there's one that's worse. Draw 1 card, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Special summon 1 Spiral Monster from your hand. They both do the same thing, right? No, okay. You banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 Spiral Monster in your graveyard. Special summon. Okay, so one of them does your hand, one of them does your graveyard.
Keep in mind with Assault, you can draw cards on both players' turns. So if you destroy, because remember, Spiral Sleeper can pop stuff on both players' turns, right? So hypothetically, you could draw a card on your turn, then draw a card on your opponent's turn, then draw a card on your turn, then draw an extra card in addition to like what you're already drawing. So just, I wanted you to like have that information in case you overlooked it.
I actually think it's like the problem with Assault is more from that you can summon a monster from your hand.
Okay.
I'm looking through all these cards and trying to see if there's a way that you can get Master Plan out faster if Helix doesn't exist.
And that is one of the ways to do that. Or if you get Helix, or excuse me, if you get Master Plan into the grave somehow, you can use Rescue to bring her back.
How do you oh, never mind. Okay, so what, you ban both? But then if you ban both, like what's the point of So is Master Plan the contingent here? Like, is that the problem?
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Does the deck operate if Master Plan doesn't exist?
Does it? Great question.
Can you draw a Master Plan like consistently? Like that's what I'm trying to figure out here. I guess so. Yeah, you can.
As long as you can make double Helix, you can get to Master Plan. You just need 2 Spiral monsters.
No, but Helix is gone. So if Helix is gone, is there any other way for Master Plan to get drawn easily?
Okay. I think to answer your question, it'd be easier to send her to the graveyard than to actually draw her from the deck. Although you do have Resort, so Resort can search any Spiral monster.
Yeah, that card's fucked.
Well, in your scenario, it's banned.
That's banned. That's banned. That's banned. That is banned.
Okay. Okay.
So then you get rid of Rescue rather than Assault because, okay, Konami, like, okay, I'm gonna give Konami some benefit of the doubt here. You want the deck to still be playable, you just don't want it to be oppressive. So by doing things in the deck that are good, it doesn't mean that it's broken. It means you could still play the deck. People bought these cards because they want to support your company. You want to make them happy. You want to make the shareholders happy. So we want the cards to be playable. We just don't want them to be egregious. So if we go to that line, then you ban Assault, but you don't ban Rescue because Rescue still makes the deck playable, but Assault is just arguably the better version of it, just because you can probably do it faster and it's less. Well, I don't know if it's faster, but I'd rather have to try to get it in the graveyard than just drawing it and then I'm crying. But maybe drawing it is harder to do. It's not. That's not the truth. That's not true at all, though. But then in this case, Resort's banned. So then maybe you ban Rescue. Okay, no, I'm banning Rescue.
You're banning Rescue.
If I'm thinking Resorts. If Resort's banned, Assault's the worst card for getting the Master Plan out.
Gotcha.
No, but then, but like, oh my God, I hate it. In my mind, it bothers me so much that they would ban a card on the card, like on a card like Master Plan. Like I hate thinking of that because it's like, what's the point of all that text then?
Sure. Okay.
It's so annoying.
Okay. Well, in your mind now, you have that band and Rescue band. So I mean.
I'm keeping it. I don't know. I can't.
So we have 5 bands. We currently have Machine Dupe Band, Double Helix Band, Last Resort Band, and Rescue Band. Okay. That's it for our main deck. We have a few cards in the extra deck because basically what I'm going to show you is the end board that these decks would essentially assemble to basically win on the first turn and make it like that your opponent can't play the game. You might remember this guy. I think I've showed you him before.
I don't remember it. I'm going to be honest.
That's fine.
So
it's fine.
Let me have a flashback here. Firewall Dragon. This requires 2 monsters, which is not hard at all. 1 spell face up on the field. Quick effect. You could target monsters on the field and or graveyard up to the numbers of monsters co-linked to this card. So you can have 4.
Hypothetically, you could have 4. You could have 4.
Return them to your hand. If a monster this card points to is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 monster from your hand. Oh.
Another way to get the Master Plan out.
Yeah, so... Okay, I mean, yeah, I mean, this card seems stupid, though. Like that. Like that. How would here's a fun idea.
Okay.
What if you play Yu-Gi-Oh with no extra deck?
That's
how
what we
would that
did back
game
in the
work?
day, as a matter of fact. Us boomers, we didn't have an extra
Oh,
deck.
and that's why you like it so much, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
I really think this whole strategy of just having this deck available at all times is a bit silly.
It's great, isn't it? It's great. It's even better.
Why would
I
they
didn't tell you
design a
this.
card like this?
I didn't tell you this. This is actually a TCG exclusive archetype. So Japan didn't get this before us, which typically they do. What they started doing was they started releasing 10 to 12 cards in core sets that were only exclusive to the non-Asian territories. And then eventually, like a year or two later, Japan gets the card. So it's like the reverse of what we're used to. So it was great because with Spyral, or any TCG archetype, we can't like look to Japan to see what's like broken as fuck when it comes to here. So people had to figure this out for us. And so when they did, here we are.
Was Firewall Dragon already in the game?
Firewall Dragon was already in the game, correct.
And if you don't mind me asking, how good was Firewall Dragon before this came out?
I will
it a good
not
card?
disclose that information.
Okay.
I think you're doing a good job figuring it out for yourself.
It's fucking broken. So I mean,
Okay.
and you don't limit this card because what does that do?
You gonna put this guy on your ban list as well?
I mean, like, if this, like, again, it's hard to compare these games to Hearthstone and Yu-Gi-Oh,
Sure.
but like, this is such a stupid card.
Okay, good. Let's keep going with stupid cards then in that case. Here's, we got two more for you. Here's this one.
Tri-Gate Wizard. Okay. 2 monsters accept tokens to get this thing. Okay. Again, really easy. Gains these effects based on the number of monsters co-linked to this card. Okay. So you can have up to 3. If a monster co-linked to this card battles your opponent monster, any battle damage it inflicts to your opponent is doubled. Okay. That's kind of cute. Once per turn, you could target 1 card in the field and banish it. 3, once per turn, when a card or effect is activated, quick effect, you can negate the activation if you do banish this card. Remind me, the top arrow means that your opponent has to have something there, right?
Not necessarily, because you could have something in your extra monster zone that points down. So then he would be co-linked. He could put him in the, because then once you put him in the main monster zone, you could put link monsters in the main monster zone that are linked to the one that's in the extra monster zone.
I'm going to imagine that meant something to me. But I get what you're saying.
Basically, you don't have to have your opponent.
Your opponent doesn't need to fulfill the up arrow. Yes, correct.
You spoke like an entirely different
I know. I knew when I explained it, you weren't gonna understand what I said. So look at Firewall Dragon, right? Firewall Dragon points down.
I get what you mean.
Okay.
Yeah,
so Firewall Dragon points
point
down.
up.
So if he's in your extra monster zone, and then you put the Tri-Gate Wizard below it, then they're co-linked.
That makes sense. I get what you're saying.
Now
I get
you
what
do.
you're saying.
The question ends up being, how likely are you're gonna have all 3 monsters? That seems pretty likely. It's a very easy thing to get on board. Those monsters that you're using to do the link summoning also go back into your graveyard, right?
Correct.
No, it's just fucked up. I mean, the dragon's arguably better though, but
Yeah. This card's fine.
wizard's-
But
the
this card's not
wizard's very
as
good.
this card's not as ban worthy in your eyes.
like it's good. Like I mean, it's good. It's a good card. The card's good, but I think the last one's like disgusting.
Okay. Here's your last card.
This guy's mana cheating on mana cheating. What is this? Number 40. I'm sorry, who? Baguska?
Baguska, you got it.
The terribly tired what?
Tapir. Yep, you got it. That's like the first name you've pronounced right in like 5 episodes. Good job.
Hell yeah. Okay. Once per turn during your standby phase, detach 1 material from this card. If you cannot, destroy it. This attack position card cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. This attack position card, so like, does this mean this card's only in attack position?
If it's in attack position, this effect applies. And it'll make sense because there's a defense position effect that's after the fact.
Oh, okay. Your opponent cannot target these attack position cards with card effects. While this card is in face-up defense position, change all face-up monsters on the field to defense position. Also negate the activated effects of monsters that were in defense position when the effect was activated. Once per standby phase. So you have to do this when is standby phase again? It's like before your turn starts?
Like your upkeep in Magic, except it happens after the draw instead of before.
So you have to do this preemptively, but then
it's what we call a maintenance cost on a card. So basically, the turn you play it, it's going to have 2 materials because you have 2 level 4s underneath it, right? Then on your next standby phase, you have to mandatorily detach a material from the Bagusa so that it stays on the field. And so after 3 turns, hypothetically, this card will destroy itself.
Okay, so I'm just trying to ask myself why this is relevant. So you change every card to defense position, but then you have the opportunity to change everything back to attack position, correct?
Well, Raren, link monsters cannot go to defense position because they don't have defense points.
What per se happens if I do that? That they get destroyed?
They just
Or
no. So everything
they
that's
just
a
sit
link
there?
monster stays in attack position. So now you can do everything freely, use all the effects you want. But if your opponent doesn't have any link monsters, then if they just have effect monsters, everything's negated on their side of the field.
That's kind of interesting. That's really interesting. That's kind of a cool card.
And people like Bagusa. People like Bagusa.
Maybe a little silly, but I do think it's interesting that you have to do it right at the start of your turn. I was thinking like you can activate this on your opponent's turn while they're doing an effect.
It's
You're like,
active.
psych.
It's not like you have to like activate it. This is like a continuous effect that's in effect regardless of like you don't have to activate anything. It just happened.
But it's like a preemptive thing every single turn, right? That's what I mean by that.
Yeah, exactly. It's again like so after 3 turns it will die.
Kind of an interesting card. See, this is the type of cards I don't really mind in Yu-Gi-Oh! But again, I haven't played against it or with it, so I'm not sure how stupid it is. It doesn't scream stupid. It screams really annoying if I'm my opponent, though. In other words, if I put every monster into defense position and they have no XYZ monsters, they're just fucking crying.
If they have no link monsters specifically, because every other type of monster can go to defense position, but link monsters cannot.
And link monsters are the most... Hold on. Link monsters...
They're all these blue
show
ones
me-
that you're seeing.
And they're the most common... extra deck
Depends on the
monster,
deck.
correct?
Depends on the deck. Like during this time, sure. But it depends on like what deck you're playing.
Okay, this guy doesn't seem fundamental to the game plan, but I understand why you might want to run it.
But he seems fine.
He seems fine. He seems fine.
Okay.
I don't know. You're making me feel like my decisions are wrong.
That's fine. So your final ban list is Machine Duplication Band, Double Helix Band, Last Resort Band, Spyral Resort Band, Spyral Rescue Band, and then Firewall Dragon Band. Is that correct?
That's correct. That sounds good.
Okay.
I'm happy with that.
So we're going to go through this now. I'm going to show you what the end board of this deck looks like after a singular turn. Because you're going to see all the cards here that I've showed you. So what you have to deal with on the very start of the game is the fact that Trigate Wizard can negate any single card your opponent has. You have 2 Firewall Dragons, so both of those can bounce an opponent's card back to their hand at any point. Bagusa is negating the effects of every single monster your opponent controls that is not a link monster, and everything goes to defense position, so they can't even attack into this board. Spyral Resort is protecting the Spyral Double Helix, which needs to be on the field in order for the utility wire to send a card to the top of their deck. And then one thing I didn't show you is that there is a part of this combo that adds a hand trap to your hand as well. And this is all done off of 2 cards. If you open Drone plus Agent, if you open Tough plus Agent, and as long as Double Helix is allowed to resolve, this is what your end board will look like if your opponent has no interruptions, and basically this is like unoutable by most circumstances. There are a few ways to do it, but it is very uncommon. If you get to this board, you basically win the game on turn 1. So this is the reason why this deck was considered to be one of the best decks of all time, because like I said, it was very low resource to like achieve a board like this. And by modern Yu-Gi-Oh standards, this is like common. Like you see this all the time. Just the cards are different. So let's go ahead and rate your decisions here. Spiral Gear Drone, first up, actually got limited. If you can believe that. This card got limited to a singular copy because, fun fact, on top of all of everything I showed you with the combo, Spiral Gear Drone is also stacking your opponent's deck to give them the worst card on top. So hypothetically, if one of the cards that could break that board was on the top of their deck, now it's not. Now it's the 3rd card from the top. So you also get to insulate your opponent's draw by giving them a card that's absolutely useless to them unless they literally see 3 cards that are all broken as fuck. So that's something that, as you know, like hand knowledge in Yu-Gi-Oh is kind of like the cardinal sin. It's sort of like hand knowledge with an extra step. So that's what ended up getting this card limited to a singular copy. Spiral Super Agent was fine. Nothing wrong with him. He's like the kind of heart and soul of the deck, if you will. So he was totally okay. And especially his potency with Drone being limited wasn't nearly as good, because now you're not necessarily going to call the top of the deck correctly if there's only one singular copy of Drone. Machine Duplication, the first card you thought was banned, is totally fine and has never been touched. Yep, it's at 3 copies. So, which is what if they limit the Drone, then Machine Duplication is unplayable, right? And that also applies to Spyral Quick Fix, which is another target for the Machine Duplication. That card also got limited to a singular copy. Quick Fix was very abusable because it didn't have a hard once per turn on it. So as long as you could keep reviving it, you could just keep adding cards to your hand. So you could Quick Fix, add a gear, it goes to graveyard, you revive it with like Big Red, then you get to add another gear to your hand. Like you could keep basically abusing Quick Fix to draw a million cards. If your opponent opened Quick Fix plus Machine Duplication, you scooped immediately because they go +6 off of that, which is absurd. and you have 0 chance of winning that game. Spyral Double Helix. Spyral Double Helix, the card that you thought is the central problem and the root of all evil of this deck, was never touched. They never banned or limited Spyral Double Helix because, I want to say because since this card was released in the set when this deck became tier 0, they wanted to make sure that people would still buy the product. And so that's why this card is still around.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But Spyral Master Plan, the card all along that you were going back and forth on, got banned, if you can believe that. So they did end up banning the Master Plan, which is, I was laughing off just like away from my mic the whole time you kept going back and forth on Master Plan, because I'm like, is he going to figure it out? Because Master Plan is sort of what brings the deck all together, right? Because ideally, you go normal drone, look at the top of their deck, you know what the card is. You can special summon Agent for free because you know the top of their deck. You make Double Helix, you call the top of their deck, you already know what it is. So that gets resolves, and you get Master Plan. And Master Plan gets you like 3 fucking cards. It's so stupid. Also, Master Plan also does not have a hard once per turn effect on the first effect. So if you play multiple of the Spyral mission cards and you keep reviving Master Plan similar to Quick Fix, you can keep adding those cards to your hand, not to mention one of them being Rescue. You can discard the Rescue to like summon Quick Fix. Now you have another revival because you can banish the Rescue to special summon something else. So she was very good and way too good for this deck, which is ultimately why she got banned. All of the gear cards were totally fine. So Last Resort and Big Red and Utility Wire, none of those got banned. Because basically you'd only play one of each of them. Maybe you would play 2 Big Red, but typically you'd only play 1 because Quick Fix could search them at will. So you never really wanted to like, you'd want to see Big Red sometimes in your hand, but for the most part, you only wanted to search Last Resort or Utility Wire as part of the end of your combo when you don't really have much else left in the deck to search. So all 3 of these cards were basically played as one of copies, so they were perfectly fine being legal. Spyral Tough was also untouched. This was sort of the replacement for Drone. So what's interesting about this deck is that when it was tier 0, the idea was to go first, make that godly end board that I showed you, make it your opponent can't play the game, and you win automatically. After the first wave of hits to this deck, which I believe they put Drone to 1, Quick Fix to 1, and I think that might have been all they did initially. People started playing Go Second Spyral. This is something that might be weird to you, but in our game, sometimes it's optimal to choose to go second if you win the dice roll or the coin toss or whatever at the beginning of the game. Because not only do you get to draw an extra card, if you go first, you only start with 5. If you go second, you get a 6th card. But you also get the battle phase. And so Go Second Spyral, Spyral Tough was an all-star in because now your opponent has cards on the field. You go Spyral Tough, look at the top of their deck. If you actually do call it right, you get to pop a card for free, so it kind of clears the way. Then you can summon your Super Agent, and now you can just basically kill your opponent. There's so many ways that you could just summon a bunch of guys and just kill your opponent straight up. Especially with Spyral Sleeper being able to pop 2 of your opponent's cards as well. So people would just basically make this a Go Second OTK deck, and the games would end in like 5 minutes. So Spyral Tough was a crucial part of that, but he never got touched. He's totally fine. He's removal. And he's removal that only works 33% of the time. So there's that. Spyral Sleeper also did not get touched. This card was also just played as a one-of. Basically, when you would send the Master Plan to the graveyard, you would search Spyral Sleeper as well as Spyral the Last Resort to be able to equip to him to make him this like super pop 2 cards a single turn monster. But he was actually totally fine. He was annoying, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't like the most egregious part of what this deck was trying to do. And so a lot of the decks would always have Sleeper as another card that they could end on. I'm not showing that in the picture here that you saw of the whole end board, but that 5th monster zone, sometimes if there wasn't a Bagusa, you would just have Spyral Sleeper instead. So instead of negating all your opponent's stuff, you could just pop 2 cards in addition to bouncing 2 cards, negating a card, spinning a card, and doing everything else. Not to mention the Resort would protect it from being targeted as well. And speaking of Resort got limited to a singular copy. This is maybe one of the best field spell cards ever printed. Just because every single turn it sticks around, you get to add a Spyral card from your deck to your hand. There are very few field spells that have that ability. And so this card is extremely good. It was searchable with Master Plan, which is part of the reason why Master Plan got banned, because it got to the field spell. And giving your whole Spyral archetype protection from targeting means that if they want to kill a Sleeper that's equipped with Last Resort while you have Resort on the field, Resort's preventing them from being targeted. And then the Last Resort is preventing the Sleeper from also being targeted. So you have 3 layers of, or 2 layers rather, of protection for this Sleeper before they can even try to destroy it, which is just absurd. So that card ended up getting limited. Both of the missions were totally fine at 3 copies. Most people only played 1 copy of Assault, because again, you could search it with Master Plan. But Rescue was seen as like a 3 of, actually, just because you could keep discarding it for like Quick Fix or send it to the graveyard with Foolish Burial Goods, and it was a free revival. So that way you didn't have to waste Quick Fixes once per turn revival effect. You can bring back Master Plan if you send it to the graveyard that way. Bring back double Helix if he dies, and you can do that on the next turn if the game goes long. Rescue is a very good card. And not to mention the first effect, that you can add a Spyral card from your graveyard to your hand. You can do that both turns. You can do that on your turn and your opponent's turn, and basically just out-resource them because they can't keep up with you just getting cards back every single turn. Firewall Dragon, the card you said was batshit broken, was the only card you got correct in this entire video and was banned. It got errataed. They brought it back into the game, and it's I want to say it's basically unplayable. I think there's like 1 deck that can still play it. But it was so good, it was so powerful that they had to errata it. Basically, the fact that every time a monster was sent to the graveyard, you could summon another monster, meant that this deck could just keep going. And so that was what made this deck like just so powerful for the time. Trigate Wizard was totally fine. He requires resources to commit to him, and he negates 1 card. Like, sure. That's a fine card. That card didn't get touched. And Bagusa also didn't get touched. It still actually sees modern play today, as a matter of fact, because it is still quite a good Yu-Gi-Oh card. And it's kind of annoying, but it does have a timer on it in terms of it dying after 3 turns, so eventually it will kill itself. But still kind of an annoying card, but it is legal and is still very playable. So that is the whole era of Spyral. I didn't go into its second wave when it ended up coming back into the metagame because it was still very good. And I think that's eventually what got Master Plan banned, was its second wave of support, or the second wave of it being competitively viable. So, yep, no one plays Spyral anymore because a bunch of the cards are still hit, and that's it. What do you think?
So basically, they didn't nerf Helix because you think that they wanted to make more money off this archetype.
They would never do that. No, I can't conceive of a company wanting to do that.
In your mind, hold on. If they banned Helix, right? If they banned Helix,
okay,
would they ban Master Plan?
If they ban Helix, would they ban Master Plan? I'd say no, because Helix was the best way to get to Master Plan. If Helix is banned, you would have to have another card that sends Master Plan from your deck to the graveyard, which the best card that does that is limited to 1 copy. And so the deck would be way more inconsistent. Double Helix is what brought this deck together. It was in the 2nd or 3rd wave of support for this archetype. And prior to it, the deck saw like basically 0 play. There were some people kind of like experimenting with like a weird version of the deck that played like synchros, but it just wasn't nearly as good. And then they released Double Helix in this set in late 2017, and all of a sudden the deck just came together. And so that's what just broke the deck entirely and made it absolutely fucking insane. So I would say that part of the reason for them not hitting Double Helix, especially because it was a high rarity card, that, you know, maybe Konami wants to still make their bag off of Circuit Break's release, and that was one of the cards that people were looking forward to. It was a very expensive card on release. I think it was like $40 or $50 because the tournament was the weekend of its release, and so there were very few copies around that you could get.
Sorry, back to my I had a follow-up question.
Sure.
My analysis was completely based on the fact that they were going to ban Helix. So I might have done bad, right? But if my context was correct, I think I cooked. No, like, hello, like, can I get some credit here?
I think,
like, come on.
I think that's fair. I think if they're banning Helix, then that changes like your entire perception of how this deck like would function. But instead they ban Master Plan eventually, which I mean, kind of makes sense in a way, but if you also ban Helix, it means it's weird. The deck's still basically unplayable because it's like if they ban either card, I think the deck becomes unplayable. And if they're trying to sell you these new cards to like play this powerful deck, they don't want to hit those cards like immediately, you know? And when it had its second wave, when it got other cards that supported the archetype, at that point the set is like a couple years old, and I think they're like, okay, we could ban like Master Plan or Helix now. Because they made their money off of it, right? So
yeah. Okay. I'm taking it as a win. I don't care what you say.
What do you think about this versus Tier Element?
I mean, like, Tier Element is just the fact that you can do like all that shit in your opponent's turn is disgusting.
Yep.
So, like, I mean, it's not even the same league.
That's the thing. Like,
But-
people would like put these two decks together, and like honestly, Tier Element would probably scrape this deck like 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you like which one you think is better, but like
Tier,
I think it's pretty.
No
I
deck
think it's
will
pretty
ever
obvious.
eclipse Tier. Like just like I can't conceive of how they are going to make a better deck than Tier. Like that deck was so far above the power curve of the game. For the time,
He's cooking already.
yeah, like for the time, Spyral was above the curve of every other deck because of how crazy it was. But like that was 3 years prior to Tier, you know? So we didn't like know like what was on the horizon of like what could be. And so for the time, like this was like touted as maybe one of the best decks ever. And now Tier has firmly taken that position.
I mean, it's I don't know. It's interesting. Again, it's one of those things where like I'd have to see it in full action to see how disgusting it is. But
Sure. Yeah,
I don't have the same visceral reaction that I did as with Tier Element.
No,
I mean,
of course not. I think it's a lot more subtle. It's like Tier, I feel like it's a lot easier to intuit why the cards are just so crazy. Where with this, I feel like there's a bit more of like building blocks of like understanding how to get to like this position. Like the board that I sent you of like what the typical end board of this deck looks like. And people only continue to refine this deck to make it more and more egregious. And so like it was the boogeyman for, I want to say, the better part of late 2017, 2018, and then it kind of went away and then sort of came back. So yeah, that's the history of one of Yu-Gi-Oh's like probably top 5 decks of all time.
Well done. Well done. Thanks for the history lesson.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for getting everything wrong except Firewall Dragon. Appreciate it.
No. I was living in the right timeline. I'm not taking the L here.
Okay, we'll see what the comments say. So guys, that's going to wrap it up for another video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Let's go ahead and shout the patrons for all their continued support. So shouts to Shout1317, Tim00x3, MBT Play Medolce, Moto, Cameron L. Smith, The Synchro Guy, Pony Stark, Dan the Man Hoban, Little Fadeleaf, Draconic, Brian Dancer of Class 7, Dylan Rare Hunter, JW11860, Flannel Daddy, literally all of the guinea pigs, Cheeks McLapperty, Stolfin Amethyst, MBT canceled by community soon, canceled by all committees soon, canceled by all players soon, Wonder Waffle, MBT and Nimnims 1, Boxer Brief, Fueled Knight of Passion, Daniel Howell, Electrician of the Ice Barrier, Arco, and the Nova 129. Thank you again so much for watching, and we will see you next time.